Hello friend, hope you're doing well. Today I wanted to talk about some of my favorite webtoons and manhwas while I journal about them. I only included ones that were complete, so some of my other favorites are missing, but I'll link below some of the ongoing ones as well as any that I talk about in this video. If you don't know what a webtoon is, it's a comic in a vertical format made to be read by scrolling on your phone. I usually just say webtoon because I read them on the webtoon app, but some of them would technically be manhwas since they originate from Korea. From my understanding, this digital format of comics began, or at least was popularized, in Korea, and the webtoon app that I read on is just an international version of the app, which includes translated manhwas and original webtoons from international creators. The webtoons that I'll talk about today are not in a ranked order, so I just hope that I can introduce you to some new stories with pretty art. Starting with the one on the top left corner is Devil Number 4 by Jangjin and Woonbi. This was one of the first webtoons I fell in love with, so it holds a special place in my heart. The story follows a college girl who is approached by a devil after running out of money and hope. He needs her to make a contract with him, but despite her difficulties in life, she is unwilling. She ends up making a deal with him, and as they spend more time together, they learn more about each other and help one another. I really love this one because the main character is a really strong female character. Her personality is on the more reserved side, and so much goes wrong in her life, but she continues to try her best, sticks to what she believes is right, and is so kind. Other than the main character, I liked the art, all the characters' backstories, and the angel-devil lore. This webtoon does tackle some darker themes, so this is just a warning if you are a bit younger. The next webtoon is called Romance 101 by Namsu. This webtoon is a super cute and wholesome college romance full of lovable characters and cute art. It stars a college girl who is very meticulous in planning and wants to make the most out of her college life. She's persuaded to join a club by her friend's hot co-worker, and she begins to meet many people, including the guy's best friend, and explore other parts of college life. Although the two characters are pretty different at first, the romance development is very natural and sweet, and I love that it's set in college instead of high school. There is almost a love triangle, but it ends up not really being one, which I'm so thankful for because I'm not a fan of them. I feel like the title is a little bit misleading because although the romance in this is really good, the other aspects of the story like friendships, club life, and figuring out a path in life are also well explored. For example, there's one friendship arc where I cried at the end of it. If you want a well-rounded romance to giggle and kick your feet to, I highly recommend this. Next, we have Miss Abbott and the Doctor by Maripas Villar. I would describe this as a slice-of-life small-town romance between two opposites who are perfect for each other. It's set in a sort of Victorian era with pretty outfits and more progressive ideals. Miss Abbott is a carefree, wild type of girl, while the Doctor enjoys his quiet life working. They seem very different, but they really bring out the best in each other. She helps him become more relaxed and free, while he keeps her grounded. The banter and silly situations they get themselves into is so fun and cute. The art is quite different from other webtoons since it's done in pencil and pen on paper instead of digitally, and while most webtoons are colored, this one is mostly line art. But I feel like the sketchiness of the lines give it a very organic and dynamic feel, and I never found myself missing the color. This is a perfect webtoon to read if you want a cute chapter here or there to brighten your day. The next one is a historical drama called Whale Star, written by Na Yoon-hee. It's a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, set in Joseon, modern-day Korea, during the Japanese occupation. The main character, Suwa, works as a maid until she finds a wounded independent soldier and nurses him back to health. When he is found by his comrades, Suwa loses her voice in a failed murder attempt and leaves the house to get revenge while slowly discovering more about the world she lives in. This is another webtoon that features a strong female character. In the beginning, there is so much she cannot do, especially since she cannot use her voice and is unfamiliar with the world, but she is angry and persistent. This story highlights how people can be both good and bad depending on which side you're on. It also explores other heavy themes like war, morality, reconciliation, and more. If you know Pachinko, I would say it is somewhat similar to the first generation story in terms of the time period and having a naive yet tough female character. It was a very emotional webtoon with many scenes, panels, and lines leaving me shocked, gasping, angered, sobbing, or chilled to the core. It's heartbreaking, but so beautiful. As long as you check any trigger warnings, I highly recommend this for its beautiful art and storytelling. This next one also broke my heart, and it is called Seasons of Blossom by Hondok and Nemoni. There are 4 semi-connected stories of high school and college students exploring different forms of love. The first story, Spring, hooks you into a cute, wholesome, fake dating high school romance between a popular tall girl and a quiet short guy. Once you're invested in the cute story, the next story, Summer, comes and breaks your heart into pieces. And the 2 subsequent stories continue to make your heart hurt in different ways. All the characters and stories are so well written, and everything is very well planned out and well executed. Again, this has some heavier themes, including bullying, depression, suicide, and grief. As heartbreaking as some of the moments are, it has a positive and hopeful message, and all the stories end beautifully. Finally, we have Love Advice from the Great Duke of Hell by Unfins. We're ending off with a comedic webtoon after a couple very serious ones. This is the most chaotic and hilarious webtoon I've ever read. It starts with a totally normal high school boy summoning a demon to help him get the girl he likes. If you've watched Mob Psycho, I would say that some of the humor is similar to that. It's a mix of situational humor, deadpan faces, and a whole bunch of random stupidity in the best way. But what makes this so good is that in the second half, the plot starts to take a more present role, and there are a lot of good plot twists and ties to earlier events. If you are ever feeling down and want something to laugh out loud to, this is perfect. And that's all of my favorite completed webtoons as of right now. I hope that you find one you like from this list, and if you decide to read or have read any of these, I'd love to hear what you thought of them, even if you didn't like them. Also, drop any suggestions you have. Thank you for being here today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!